Hey guys, Infidel 1258 here. I want to talk today about Bitcoin and why I think it's an important investment vehicle. Why I think it's the most important investment you could make, and it's not the traditional points, which I will touch on. So let's get into it. I think there's a lot of content on the internet about why Bitcoin's a great investment, and they usually focus on two main points. One, that it's good money. Good money meaning it has the characteristics of good money, meaning it's durable, divisible, portable, fungible, and resistant to counterfeit. But also, as a second argument, you could say Bitcoin is a store of value. And anybody who wants to argue that, and people argue that, they say, no, it's a terrible store of value. It used to be $20,000. Now it's $8,500. That's a very bad argument, because Bitcoin used to be a penny and now it's $8,500. Across any time scale other than cherry-picked bear markets, Bitcoin has been an amazing store of value, and we will see that it is going to continue to be that. So Bitcoin is good money. Bitcoin is a good store of value. And three, and this is the point, this is the focus of today's video. Three, it is a safety measure and a security measure against censorship. So increasingly, you've seen on YouTube and on Twitter and on Patreon and on PayPal and on Gab and on, what else? Now, MasterCard, Visa, Amex, these major payment gateways are being petitioned and rallied against by the radical left to stop allowing flow of value into the hands of quote-unquote alt-right or conservative thought leaders or quote-unquote Nazis. And we have to be careful with these terms, because people will throw them around in 2019 like they are like they have no value, no meaning, because I think the true meaning of these words have been eroded away by their misuse. And so just a few seconds, I want to take a sidestep here on the conversation. Look at the word love. In 2019, you'll say, I love a hamburger. And you'll also in the same breath say, I love my mother. What does that word mean? Is that the same word? Are you using the word love for a cheeseburger? And somehow it's supposed to carry the same weight for love of your mother or love of your spouse? This is the craziness of language. We need to be really careful about how we apply words. When we say we're starving in the Western world, oh, I'm starving, let's go get something to eat. It's so insulting to the true value of the original word. And that digression is, I'm trying to make a point about how language gets eroded. When we use the word Nazi to say somebody like Ben Shapiro, an Orthodox Jew who has conservative thoughts on, like, for instance, pro-life or pro-Trump, or, he has conservative ideas, or he's for limited immigration. These are conservative ideas, and then people on the radical left point their finger and say Nazi, or they say alt-right, or they say hate speech. And then they petition places like Patreon and YouTube to get them kicked off so that they can't monetize their content. Why? Why did they do that? Well, they say it's because the speech that these people are speaking is dangerous. And I would argue, if you think Ben Shapiro is dangerous, you haven't listened to Ben Shapiro. He's a brilliant mind with thoughtful criticisms and concerns that I think he does a good job of expressing. I don't agree with everything he says, but he is a logical and reasonable voice in 2019. And it's foolishness to try and silence people we disagree with in the first place. If you disagree with them, dialogue with him. If you disagree with me, dialogue with me. Don't try and stop speech from happening because you're afraid of it. Dialogue with it. Dialogue with the idea. Discuss your opinion and do your best to convince people around you of some better, more reasonable approach. Instead, that's not happening. The radical left comes in and they say, the idea you're discussing is too dangerous. You're not allowed to say it. And then when you don't stop, they push further and they say, now they're trying to say You shouldn't have access to money. Right now, a radical left group called Color of Change, they're petitioning MasterCard, Amex, Visa to stop letting money flow to quote unquote alt-right voices and conservative voices. What does that mean? Again, when we step back and we recognize that word alt-right, when that word conservative is being, or Nazi, these words are being used as weapons to silence voices that the left doesn't agree with. They aren't Nazis. They aren't alt-right, whatever that means. They aren't hate speech speakers. They're individuals who are trying to dialogue and share their own opinions, in many cases. And they're being told by the left, your ideas are too dangerous. You shouldn't be allowed to have money. What does this all have to do with Bitcoin? In Bitcoin, you have a decentralized peer-to-peer payment system, which is divisible, durable, fungible, portable, resistant to counterfeit, which is a storage of value, and is beyond the reach of a trusted third party and the censorship that a government or an entity might desire to invoke upon you. And so in this currency, we have an opportunity to invest and hold something that can allow us to deliver value to those we want to. If you have a good or a service that I desire and somebody says, you're an evil person, so you shouldn't be allowed to have money, but yet I want your good or service, I should be allowed in a free world to say, I want that service, here's some currency. And with Bitcoin, you have that freedom. With the US dollar, with Visa, with Amex, with Patreon, even with YouTube viewership, increasingly that freedom is being diminished. But with Bitcoin and with cryptocurrency, that freedom cannot be erased because it's decentralized and it's peer-to-peer. And so, in conclusion, for me, Bitcoin is an amazing an amazing investment for 3 reasons. It's good money, it's a store of value, and the most important reason, because it's censorship resistant. And that is so important, because without allowing people to speak freely in a world, I don't believe there can be freedom itself. And if we can't reward people who speak their mind for creating good content, then that content will disappear and that voice will disappear. And that's the left's mission. But I say we should use things like Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies to try and reward quality content online as best we can, so that these voices of, in my mind, moderation and reason can continue to exist and combat what is increasingly a radicalized left. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you so much for your time and attention. I hope you have an amazing day, and God bless you. Bye for now.